From chasing consistency to chasing greatness, this is Chris Olave's story.
He hate to lose. I mean, even as a kid, like he said, if they was playing basketball in the backyard and he lost, he'd be ready to fight it. Isaiah would be calling me like, "Dad, can you come get Chris? Can you calm Chris down?"
Me being the oldest, it was kind of them two against me, so they would try to, do what they could versus me, whether it's in the backyard playing basketball, whatever, wrestling or whatever it was. Him being the youngest, kind of getting, the younger brother treatment kind of helped him along the way.
Growing up in Southern California, Chris Olave and his two older brothers, Isaiah and Josh, were always playing sports. And where Josh went, Chris followed.
I played with Chris my whole life, so he always played up with me. When he was about 5 years old and I was 7, he played on our team. So growing up, he always played in my division, so he always played up. So I think that's why he had the advantage.
Chris Olave started showing his unique talent around the age of 5. His father, Raul, knew he'd be destined for greatness. By the time he got to high school, Chris was a multi-sport athlete with aspirations to play college football. In the midst of building up his resume, the brothers moved to a new school.
They wasn't getting the grades in school that we wanted them to have, so we decided to make a move, and we talked it over with them, and they understood. So we moved from South San Diego to Northern San Diego and transferred schools. And then their old school filed a petition, and then they ended up having to sit out.
Chris didn't get to play football his junior year. For high school prospects, not having junior game tape can be the difference in making it to the next level or getting left behind.
They pretty much had it easy coming up, but that was like the first tough little bit of adversity where he had to deal with something that didn't go his way.
It was something that we thought of in the decision process, but we didn't know it was going to be that serious. So it was definitely a shocker when we had to sit out the whole year.
To make matters worse, his brother Josh didn't get to play his senior year. But Chris let that fuel him, dedicating his final season at Mission Hills to Josh. That drive and motivation led Chris to a breakout season.
I think that gave him the mental toughness to deal with adversity. And from there, he started watching film, he started studying his opponents, and then first game senior year, he just exploded.
Enter the college offers. Over 20 Division I programs were interested in the Southern California native. But Chris was still flying under the radar to start his senior year. A trip from Ohio State's head coach Ryan Day changed that.
Coach Day was out in Cali, actually recruiting his quarterback. And I'll never forget him giving me a call. He's like, "Yeah, check this guy out, tell me what you think, and I'll get back to you." And I knew the guys that we had and already committed. And I was like, "Kid's pretty good, coach." Like, frankly, I kind of have him above all the guys that are already coming in. I was like, "So what's going on?" He goes, "Well, he didn't play his senior year. He transferred, so he's playing his senior year. It's kind of quote unquote an unknown guy." And I was like, "Well, I'm blown away. I think he's phenomenal. I think you should recruit him. I think he would be the best one in our class if we were to, be able to get him." He goes, "All right, that's what I thought."
Olave signed to play football at Ohio State in the spring, over 2,000 miles away from home. Moving across the country brought about the next challenge for the young receiver.
It was tough. I got out there at 17 years old, away from my family for the first time. So I was on my own. I had to just lean on my teammates and my coaches. And it was a tough time the first couple months, but I adapted and had fun my 3.5 years there. There
were some times where we sat down on the bench and had some hard conversations. And, he's a very passion-filled guy, and it was hard. He missed home. He missed his family. So there were hard times. A lot of people see, the end result, or I should say, they see the journey. They don't realize the things these guys go through to get to where they're at. And Chris popped early, but he also had to fight early. And he's able to kind of grip things and run with them by the end of his first year. His freshman year, he started making plays in the big rivalry game and into the bowl game. So we knew early on, but it was just a matter of time. Not if, but a matter of time.
After several family trips to Columbus, Ohio, and even more calls home, Chris got into a groove, and his senior year of high school would be the last time he'd fly under the radar. At Ohio State, he set the school record for most receiving touchdowns, finished top 5 all-time in receiving yards, won 3 Big Ten Conference championships, and was a team captain his senior year. Heading into the 2022 NFL Draft, Chris was projected to go in the first round. On day 1, the New Orleans Saints traded up to get Chris at the 11th overall pick.
Oh, it was one of the best moments of our lives.
Chris's unique abilities translated right away in the NFL. In his rookie season with the Saints, he led the team in receiving yards, receptions, and among all rookie receivers in 2022, Olave finished second in most receiving yards.
Anytime there's an opportunity to throw him the ball, and I think that confidence comes from not only myself and the coaching staff, but the quarterbacks, the players as well, that if you have an opportunity to get him the ball, he's going to make the play for you.
Yeah, he's a dog. He's a dog for sure. He lives for these moments. He lives for competition. He loves to compete. You know, he's come from that same cloth, you know, from Ohio State. That pedigree and that standard that we hold ourselves to when we compete all day at practice and we come out here, that's what makes the game fun for us.
As Chris enters year 2 in the NFL, the message is still the same. From chasing consistency to chasing greatness.
I feel like I could be one of the best in the game at receiver, but I just got to stay consistent with my work and have the quarterback trusting me with every ball, and I feel like I'm doing that throughout camp.
I believe it's going to be a big season in New Orleans, so beware New Orleans.